depression. Now, it's kind of weird saying like, oh, we're checking out REN depression. We know REN likes to share about his journey throughout his struggles. And some people are hating on him for that. Oh, it's always about suicide. It's always about depression. You try making a song about your feelings. See how honest you can be with yourself. Because REN basically puts a mirror in front of himself and writes that down on paper. Try and do that. You will probably not be able to. The people that are haters like that. Yeah, we're going to check this out. Go support REN. Thank you very much, Emily.
My thought patterns are composed by a time bomb for an author. Like pigs to the slaughter. A symphony of self-doubt sings out, breath starts getting shorter, running water. It's the state that I wish to become. Instead, concrete envelops my movement and I'm rendered deaf and dumb, unable to heed the advice of others. Don't tell me things will get better, cause so far things haven't gotten better. I've got the sweater, poster child, bipolar, ADHD, therapist, wet dream. I don't want to talk about my father, I don't want to talk about my dead friend, I don't want to talk about myself. I'm sick of talking about myself. I'm sick of talking about myself and realizing that talking about myself never ever helps. Still, I call for help, cause I really want help. But the pills didn't seem to help, and the therapist didn't seem to help. But still, I want help. I've danced with the devil in hell. I've sat in a prisonless cell, and here I always dwell, in this prison in myself. I do this thing where my mind travels back to the golden age. You know those times where you were carefree and everything was golden? The golden age. You know those times where everything was golden, where you were carefree and everything was golden? The hardest thing I ever had to do was come to terms with the fact that that time never really existed. I've always felt so fucking detached, and broken, bruised and mismatched. Find it hard to relax, living under the cracks. Tried to fill in the gaps, lying here on my back. Still, I can't find it. Sense of peace in my mind declined it. Pulse increase and my sweat combines with a feeling so deep I fall inside it. Depression, I hate you, depression. Your constant oppression, respond with aggression. They say depression brings you lessons. Constant stressing conceals blessings. You will grow in broken settings. Fuck those lessons, fuck depression. I've been living in your shadow for so long that I forgot how I can shine. How I can find a refuge in my mind. How am I meant to sit here and unwind? The planets align, I feel like I'm cursed. Feel like I'm cursed to just be here to hurt. Feel like I'm cursed to just be here to bleed with my demons. Been feeling this way since birth. Depression, I hate you. 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 Depression, I hate you.
I think everybody here has a friend, family member, or maybe themselves who have had dealt with depression. I maybe have a unpopular opinion about depression, but I'm going to be honest what I think about this whole depression stuff, and especially how therapists these days think what the cure is for it. Now, you might disagree with me, and that is totally fine. I would love to hear what you think about this. But what I think about this is, as soon as you go to a therapist who is paid to be a therapist, and I'm not saying therapists shouldn't get paid, but as soon as money is involved, there is a chance corruption is involved as well. And again, I'm not saying that every therapist is corrupted, but as soon as money comes into play.
Emily Singa tipped 20 euros.
Thank you, Emily.
Fire, I love this song.
Ren Fire, AR love this song. Okay. I will probably too. I haven't really had a Ren track where I'm like, okay, I don't like this. So we're going to get into that for sure. Thank you very much, Emily. as soon as money gets involved in in that work field, there's a chance for corruption. What do I mean with corruption? It's people who don't take their job serious, who just come for a pay, and basically are like, okay, oh, you got this? Well, we gave the previous 6,000 people that had this medication, so we're not going to look at you as an individual. We're going to look at you as person 503 who has the same problem, but my problem is way different. No, it's the same because 500 people had the same symptoms, so you fall under that category. It's like, that's not how it works. In my opinion, every person should be looked at individually because every person is wired differently. So you cannot go off on what 500 times happened before. You have to look at it every time. This happened to me in the past. You know what happened to me in the past, guys? They thought I was crazy. I'm not going to go into the full detail because I don't want to make this a whole thing about my sad life. But they thought I was crazy. And I had this, that, the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Woo, I was crazy and a menace to society and whatever. And they said, yeah, we need to give him this, that, and that medication. Which is medication that if you take that, you're like... And they'll be like, oh, look, he's quiet now. He is listening. That type of medication. You don't do that to a kid or an adult or a person in general, in my opinion. So what did my dad do? My dad was there when that was announced. And he said, sir, we're going to give your son this, that, and that. And my dad knew those medication. And he said, if you give that medication to my son, I'm coming to your house. And that person said, the person from that company said, oh, is that a threat, sir? I said, no, it's not a threat. But if you give my son any of those pills, I'm coming to your house. And that's all he said. And it never happened. They didn't give me the pills. And my dad can be very scary, but on a very formal and relaxed way. He didn't say, I come to your house and fucking kick it. He didn't go like that. He said, if you give my son these pills, I'm coming to your house. Very calm, very formal. So, and I always thanked him for that, because if it was up to my mom, who I don't speak to, she would have just, oh, hey, Nick, oh, yeah, this, oh, that didn't work, oh, let's try this, and then I would just be like that, you know? Base dad, fucking base dad. He got me out of that shit. I was locked up for a year in a youth center because of that shit, you know? And my dad had to fight, I don't know, 4 or 5 court cases, which he lost again and again and went higher and higher up. And when I was 12, he won, got me out of that, and I never talked to my mom again. So I've had my fair share of shit, people. So you're never alone in this. If you want to talk to somebody who's not going to be like, oh, really? Who's just going to be like, hey, let's talk about this. How are you doing? You know? If I can be that for somebody, hit me up. Please don't hit me up if you stubbed your toe. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. That if something is up and you are feeling like you have nobody else, come into the Discord. Either send me a private message or talk in the channel, because people are in my community are good people. It had to be really hard. Yeah, let me get the... It was hard, but you know what the thing is? I've had to tell this story so many times while crying, while being upset, while being angry. I'm an adult now. I can talk about this without feeling bad or angry. I've given it a place. It took me years. I have had a good psychologist, a person who cares for younger people with mental stuff. And I've always thanked him. I've sent him multiple letters when I was older to thank him properly. So there are good therapists out there who actually care and want to help you. Yeah. That's about it. What I wanted to say, guys. Go check out REN, a depression. You're not alone, and so and REN isn't either. Of course, a big following, but you know what I mean. Go check him out. I'll see you in the next one.